have met 5 times before. Croatia have never won. The French 11 is precisely that which beat Belgium in Tuesday's St. Petersburg semi-final. So Hugo Lloris wins his 104th cap, one more than Didier Deschamps. Messrs Varane, Hernandez, Kanté and Pogba protect their record of having started every game, and Olivier Giroud, still without a shot on target in the competition, continues to lead the line. It is 6 of the team which began the European Championship final in Paris 2 years ago, Kylian Mbappe being clearly the most obvious point of positive difference. Coaches with great mutual respect from very different places. Didier Deschamps, understated, decorated, 20 years since he lifted the thing. Nestor Pitana blew the first whistle at the tournament, and he will now blow the last. He is the second Argentine to referee the World Cup final. His countryman Horacio Elizondo famously sent off Zinedine Zidane in Berlin 12 years ago. Senor Pitana has been in charge of both Croatia and France at the knockout stage this year. Massimiliano Errati from beautiful Florence in Tuscany is the video assistant referee. We have come this last month, of course, quite readily to terms with this aspect of the game's officiating. Well, Croatia also copy and paste their semi-final team sheet, notwithstanding the abnormal workload most of these have had to bear with extra time at every stage. It has been, in effect, 4 games for the price of 3 over the knockout phase. Luka Modric plays a 12th World Cup match, which is a new national record. He has disdain for any suggestion of fatigue. Ivan Perisic was at least as sharp a thorn in England's side on Wednesday. He scored the equaliser and set up the winner. And this glance at the entire squad list serves to remind us that Croatia have reached the final with a 22-man party, Nikola Kalinic having departed very early on. The 2 number 10s to whom so many eyes are drawn. Rakitic, dead-eyed from the penalty spot when Croatia have needed him to be. Griezmann, artistic in the early stages. Modric, many people's idea of the player of the tournament. 4 years on from the Maracanã. Midday in Rio, midnight in Tokyo, breakfast in LA, tomorrow morning by the Tasman Sea, 5 o'clock in Paris and Zagreb, 6 o'clock in Moscow, and here is the planet's ultimate game. The final of the 21st Football World Cup. France to rediscover glories past, Croatia to inscribe a new name on the trophy. And truth be told, as has been the case throughout this most unpredictable of competitions, nobody really knows. Here is Perisic, star of Croatia's semi-final. Vida, who scored so importantly in the quarter-final. Rakitic, whose penalties have been short. And Lovren amongst the competition's outstanding defenders. Rakitic aimed it at Mandzukic, forced away by Varane. And there is Didier Deschamps, who can become the 3rd man in history to win the World Cup both as a player and a coach, and keep company therefore with Mario Zagallo and Franz Beckenbauer. His job in the 1998 final, not dissimilar from that perhaps played today by N'Golo Kanté. He and Christian Karembeu. It's foul by Modric on Umtiti. He and Christian Karembeu did a great job on Leonardo and Rivaldo in that famous game. Umtiti, France's semi-final match winner. Matuidi. Umtiti, Giroud. Still no shot on target, having played well over 400 minutes at this World Cup. Vida across to Strinic, who was perhaps the one minor injury doubt concerning Croatia coming up to this final, is able to clear. Strinic, Mandzukic, Rebic, Hernandez, one of four in the French squad to have started every game. Ran into Modric. And has a free kick. Mbappe. Taken away from Pavard by an eager Perisic, who can run at Varane. Having bypassed him, found Umtiti reinforcing. He was certainly very quickly developed into the old firm for France in central defence. Third group game, Kimpembe did get a run out, but essentially those two have been inseparable when it's mattered. By Mbappe. Brozovic. Lovren. Vida. Rakitic. Rebic. And they're stuck tight, but Vasholko has a position from which he can cross. And it required urgent attention from Rafa Varane. Modric. Vasholko. France will be all too aware of the danger posed by Croatia's adventurous full-backs. It's been a feature throughout the competition. And it is more or less self-evident, given the type of knockout phase Croatia have had, that the stamina in their team is formidable. Kante, Umtiti. And a suggestion of tiredness after 3 periods of extra time. If anything, has been a source of incentive for Zlatko Dalic in his team, as if to defy physics, defy fatigue. And just prove that they really can run and run for their nation. Titi, given a little shove by Mandzukic. Conte. Pogba from between the centre halves, and that much debated, relatively conservative position that Deschamps' formation requires him to take up. He's had to sacrifice some of his attacking instinct for the good of the team. He's done so uncomplainingly. Indeed, the only folk to have complained are French purists, or some would say fantasists, who would have preferred to see a more adventurous approach, but their complaints will be mute. Hugo Lloris is lifting the trophy at the end of the evening. Strinic. We passed Paul Pogba. Rakitic, oh, that's clever. And Strinic. Firmly dealt with at very close quarters by Kylian Mbappe, who's not just flair and forward force, but is required to do his dirty work for the team as well. It's a really important tackle. Modric with the corner. Lloris didn't get there, but Giroud got plenty on his header. Orte drove it against Rakitic. Last touch off the Frenchman. Croatia's throw. Brozovic. Rakitic. Perisic attacking it away well by Pavard. Giroud for Pogba, who goes over the outstretched toe of Ante Rebic. Terrific win by Giroud, by Rakitic, but that exemplifies, in a sense, why Deschamps, notwithstanding the unflattering statistics which attach themselves to Olivier Giroud, still wants him in the side. Lovren. Conte, sure he wanted the ball there, and Brozovic took it from him. Paschalko, Rakitic, Modric. Width again provided by Strinic. Perisic. Away without complication by Umtiti. And a reason for Croatian uplift over the course of the first 10 minutes. 10 relatively eventless minutes, but a period during the majority of which the ball has been in French territory. Brozovic. Lovren. Modric. Paschalko. Brozovic. Paschalko. Modric. Rakitic, Perisic, it just got away. He's had a terrific World Cup, Ivan Perisic. He stays with Inter after many successful years in German football with Borussia Dortmund and Wolfsburg. Going against Iceland at the end of the knockout stage, and then that crucial breakthrough goal. Equaliser against England here on Wednesday night. And then he hit the post. And Tweedy let it roll. Hernandez. Rebic got across. Titi, Varane, Pavard. What was your goal of the tournament? Was it his? Goodness me, what a hit that was against Argentina. Beautiful swing and spin and swerve. Lovren away, down by Mandzukic. Snatched back by Matuidi. Hernandez, Griezmann. Titi. And the reach of Giroud. Well, there they are, the two top men. The host and his partner in staging this competition, the president of FIFA and the president of Russia. This is Putin and Infantino. VIPs. And neither can be dissatisfied about how the month has gone. What a beautiful month. Been a quiet first quarter of an hour of the World Cup final, though, which is in keeping with recent such matches. Had a couple of slow burners in a row. 2 1-0s. Goals scored in extra time. Who can blame players for a degree of inhibition on an occasion such as this? France, as a creative force, really haven't got started at all yet. Antoine Griezmann, I've told, has touched the ball twice. But it's the last page that matters, not the first. And here's Perisic with Rebic charging through the middle, likewise Modric. And Titi got back. Strinic. Vida. Lovren. Modric. Referee has brought it to a halt as a result of an occurrence off the ball involving Ivan Perisic. Hernandez showing him some sympathy. That's how it happened. Just in the corner of the screen there was a collision, natural coming together of full-back and wide man. No harm meant, very little done. Modric, Hernandez, Conte. Tweeted for Pogba. Mbappe rather over-elaborating, escaping with something simpler. Conte. Matuidi. Conte. Here goes Mbappe for the first time. Strinic had to be wary. Came out to Giroud. He found no path past Rebic, but won it back from Rakitic. Varane. Hernandez. Giroud. Griezmann. Mbappe. Mbappe beyond Strinic. Out by Vida. Again Mbappe. Croatia aware that they cannot afford for him to get up ahead of steam. Little tickle at the back of Griezmann and a free kick against Brozovic. And really the first moment of offensive promise, this, for France. There wasn't much, but there was enough. Griezmann, having earned the free kick, is going to take charge of it. N'Golo Kante, last man back. More or less everybody else involved for France. Even Pavard there, strolling beyond the ball. Flicked in by Griezmann and flicked on! And France take the lead in the World Cup final! Deft delivery from Antoine Griezmann! And the French hit the front! Perhaps with assistance from Mario Mandzukic. Indeed, Croatia's centre-forward got the touch that mattered. Defying his keeper. And having scored the goal that mattered in the semi-final, he scores a painful goal that may matter in the final. He can only shrug. The 12th own goal of the 2018 World Cup has France jumping up and down. It is the first own goal ever to have been scored in a World Cup final. And it is debited to Mario Mandzukic, whose own goal brought his country to this set-piece event, and who now needs to swallow that indignity, and if he can, atone for it. Just as they were in the last 16, just as they were in the quarter-final, just as they were in the semi-final, Croatia are behind. Neither side has yet had its own shot on target. That was the only one. It came from a set piece, and now as a result of Conte's challenge on Modric, Croatia have one of those. As light rain begins to fall in Moscow. Sun behind a cloud. Croatia, temporarily at least, beneath a cloud. Modric, their game changer, over a dead ball. Played in by Modric and over by Domagoj Vida. Whose importance in the opposing penalty area was never more evident than in Sochi last weekend in the quarter-final, when he rose to such good effect at the expense of the hosts. So Croatia have to come from behind and win the final, as only Italy, also at the expense of France in 2006, have done since 1974. Rotherham closed down by Giroud, who's found guilty of handball. Modric. Brozovic. back. Well, and fed on towards Mbappe by Matuidi. Brought away by Rakitic. And Rebic. Pavard nibbled at his heels. Once more Modric takes charge. Mandzukic now poised on the edge of the penalty area where he feels more comfortable. That is his natural terrain, his habitat. In by Modric. Good length on the punch from Lloris. Mbappe. Kept it from Modric. Pogba left it behind. And Lovren fed Mandzukic. And Mandzukic found Rakitic. And if that had rippled the net, we would be talking about one of the great World Cup final goals. French unhappy with some of the bumping and boring, though Pogba needs to be careful there. And his tightness to Mandzukic. Griezmann, Hernandez, cleared by Vasalko. Vida. Kept it from a harrying Griezmann. Vasalko. Titi's clearance. Won by Giroud. And away from Matuidi by Brozovic. This was the moment that upset Giroud, and well, you do understand why. Nowhere near his hands. And he was in. Deschamps, who has been here or hereabouts, of course, before. If experience is an advantage, then he surely has it, though Zlatko Dalic has considerable wind in his personal sail, having taken on the job of managing Croatia only last October and having won his nation round so very, very quickly. It is worth bearing in mind again that Croatia reached these World Cup finals by the skin of their collective teeth. Foul at the back of Perisic, and the first yellow card of the game is shown to France's N'Golo Kante. Just left a little sly one on him. The Argentine official was keeping up. Modric and Rakitic together. Modric faded it in, Vasilko appeared round the back. Mandzukic can compete with Pogba. Came down for Vida. And then Perisic, 1-1! Screamed that in! Croatia are never behind for long! Ivan Perisic again! Deft delivery from Modric, smart run from the fullback, good win from the centre forward, touch back for Perisic, and you know what's happening then! Ivan Perisic gave it the works! And Croatia are level. His third goal of the finals. An equaliser in the semi-final, an equaliser in the final itself. So France have to go and do it all again. Pavard. Mbappe's offside. Echoes to some extent for France of 2006 when they took a lead in Berlin against Italy. On that occasion from the penalty spot through Zidane and conceded 12-13 minutes later to Marco Materazzi. Mario Mandzukic, notwithstanding that errant touch, will be feeling a whole lot better about his life now. Modric, Brozovic, Rakitic, Mandzukic, Rakitic. Bit of wind in the Croatian sail now. Not least the personal sail of Ivan Perisic, who's found an extra yard. Perisic, who has now scored 6 goals in his last 12 tournament games. He was amongst them at the last European Championships as well. And indeed at World Cup 2014. He comes to life when the world is watching. Last 2 World Cup finals have had to wait for extra time until their first goal. In 2018 we have 2 goals in the first half. Modric, Mandzukic. Rebic. Supposed to gather for Lloris. It's probably fair to say 2 goals without either goalkeeper yet having made a substantial save. Vida's miscue and France's bonus corner. Corner which Antoine Griezmann will take. And for which Umtiti dangerously lumbers forward in the company of Varane and Pogba, with Mbappe on the goalkeeper's toes. In by Griezmann and repelled at the near post by Perisic. The French are screaming handball. The referee may feel obliged to take on some advice here. VAR has been a feature from first to last. Might need a different angle than that one. If he sees that, he's got a call to make. It certainly strikes the hand of Perisic. It is now a matter of interpretation, deliberate or otherwise. VAR check is being carried out. The first ever in a World Cup final. And the referee is choosing to look himself. And the world will be split here. Truly, this is a matter of opinion. Ball and hand collide, no question. Deliberate or not deliberate. The world is waiting for one Argentine interpretation. You'll know what you think. Right now, there is one man who matters. He certainly went at it with his foot. That was clearly the intention. He would not have wanted to handle, but handle he did. What is the verdict? Oh, one more look. One more look. Put yourself in his boots. What a call to have to make. He's given a penalty. A penalty for France in the World Cup final as a result of VAR. Truly, this is a 21st century game, a game that has moved into a new age. Perisic, having scored for Croatia, is now their fall guy. And Subasic, who has starred from the spot for Croatia, is now going to go eyeball to eyeball from 12 yards again. For presidents and prime ministers, these moments are as nervous as they are for those who have paid to be behind the goal. The debate goes on, but he's made his mind up. And Antoine Griezmann, so often so cool, as Moscow is embraced by a clap of thunder and a little shaft of lightning on a stormy, stormy day. Griezmann, who stepped up to the spot for the first big VAR call of the tournament against Australia in Kazan a lifetime ago, is going to step up again. And France have never lost when Antoine Griezmann has scored. Antoine Griezmann. France have their lead back! An historic goal! A goal of its age, of its generation. But a penalty is a penalty in any year, and Antoine Griezmann specialises. They lost their lead for 10 minutes, barely that. But as a result of Antoine Griezmann's outstretched left hand, Ivan Perisic's outstretched left hand, Antoine Griezmann was given this opportunity to stroke them back in front. The 5th World Cup final penalty, but the first like that. So Croatia have to do it again. First half of the World Cup final includes an own goal, a splendid equaliser, and then a VAR penalty. Strinic, another bolt of lightning. Perisic plays it in, and Rebic couldn't wrap his foot round it. Griezmann for Mbappe. Looking to surge around Strinic. Mbappe's pulled back. Vida didn't get there, but Lovren did. Brozovic away. Rebic looking to turn around Hernandez. He got a foot in and conceded a free kick. And a yellow card. Brozovic. Lovren. Kosalko. Strinic. Perisic. Strinic. Brozovic. Modric. Lovren for Kosalko. Rebic. Out again by Hernandez. Last 4 minutes of the first half, though one imagines there'll be quite a chunk of stoppage time. Modric. Kosalko. Between his challenge. France's throw. That's the reason for Lucas Hernandez's yellow card. Couldn't get close enough to the ball. Rakitic, caught up by Pogba, away by Pavard. Vida will reach it before Mbappe. Had 3 goals in a World Cup final since 1974 in the first half. And if my historical memory serves me right, that involved a big penalty call or two from the English referee Jack Taylor. Holland against West Germany, very early in the game. Modric with a Croatian free kick. The weather's closing in. Modric plays it in, and Perisic won it. Away by Pavard, thumped back in by Lovren, who has to settle for a corner. only partially clear. Lovren against Pogba, who kept his hands well out of the way. Rakitic takes, and it was flicked on at the near post by Rebic, and nudged rather nervously behind for another corner. Rakitic once more. Cleared by Giroud. Last man back is Vasalko. Let's have a man down. Here's Rebic, away from Pavard. Held up by Pogba, who touches it out. And Titi is the injured party. He was all fallen upon rather nastily by Dejan Lovren. Not spitefully, but nastily. That was not a good angle that his leg was at. Lovren bumped him over and then dropped on him like a 10-ton weight. Last 20 seconds of the half, and at the moment the intention is for 3 minutes additional time, though that's a number which under these circumstances could of course grow. There we are, illustration of that intention. France will want Umtiti to be able to come back on and defend this corner. I'm sure they'll get their way. So, in stoppage time, France a man light. In by Rakitic, and Vida didn't time his jump. Which is a great relief for the French, who can restore their quorum now. No team has had a half-time lead in the World Cup final since France in 1998. That's how tight it tends to be. On that occasion, Zinedine Zidane scored twice, once actually around about now in first half stoppage time, 2 headers. Varane. Tweedy. Pogba. Number 2-1. Perisic plays it early. Down by Mandzukic. And sorted out for Lloris by Hernandez. Lovren. Vasalko. One back by Hernandez, who's kept on running and has Mbappe ahead of him here. His pass for Mbappe is just too strong. Terrific purpose from the left full back. He's going to have to raise his troops again. He's done it so often in this competition. One expects nothing less. The masters of victory from behind, Croatia, in the knockout stage of this World Cup. If they're to lift the World Cup, they're going to have to put off the trick one more time. Vasalko didn't drop for Perisic. Strinic. Foul on Mbappe. That'll probably see us through to the break. Well, what a curious game of football in any context. A game indeed to this point which will launch a million debates. Most of them around Ivan Perisic, not about his splendidly hit equaliser, but about his handling offence, which via VAR led to Griezmann's penalty, by which France re-established the lead that they had originally taken via Mandžukic's 18th minute own goal. Pick the bones and the flesh off those bones. The World Cup final at half-time in Moscow stands at France 2, Croatia 1. After all, the first Griezmann was certainly calm enough over the penalty. Rolling in the goal by which France's lead was re-established. Modric not yet the central figure, there's plenty of time for that. Well, when the history of this World Cup is written, much of it will concern late goals, dramatic goals, brilliant goals. But there will certainly be a chapter or two for own goals and indeed goals from penalties. And in that regard, this final has rather summed up the whole competition. The 12th own goal of the competition, the 29th penalty, 22 of them stuck away. And France have a one-goal advantage to carry into the second half of match 64. And Titi. Tweedy taken off it by Vasilko, moved on by Modric. Then Rakitic. A lot of space for Rebic. Vasilko's got ahead of him. Well, Vasilko has delivered and Lloris fell on it. Pogba. Pavard. Pogba. Pavard. Giroud. Griezmann. Save made without complication by Subasic. Third tournament meeting of these two nations, the first oft referred to in recent days, the semi-final of 1998, which France won 2-1, courtesy of Lilian Thuram. They last met at a major event in Portugal, Euro 2004, and drew a group game 2-2. That game also included an own goal and a penalty. Igor Tudor helped France take the lead. But Milan Rapajic scored the equaliser from the spot. There's Rakitic and Rebic! And Lloris was at full stretch. He has not been overemployed. But my goodness me, he sprung to life when called upon and applied a very important fingertip. Lofted in by Modric, wouldn't fall for Vida, and Rebic touched it behind. Caught it beautifully, cleanly, Ante Rebic, and it was certainly bound for goal had Lloris not got elastic and got big. Certainly one of the candidates for the Golden Glove. It's not decided statistically by clean sheets and the like, but by a judgment on performance. And actually both goalkeepers on show today would consider themselves to have a shout. Subasic not least for all his penalty heroics. Brozovic. Oh, that is a super ball, and Lloris had to read it in the very close company of Ivan Perisic. Vrsaljko. Umtiti. Pogba. Taken back by Strinic. Varane's been caught in possession by Mandzukic. It's Mario Mandzukic who couldn't poke it through for Perisic. Nobody happier about that than Rafa Varane. Modric. Tweedy caught on it by Luka Modric, who's done enough to win Croatia another corner. Attacking the bulk of their most vociferous support in this second half. And at least to start with, lifted by them. And by Modric, out by Griezmann. Vrsaljko! Seen a couple of those of this World Cup. Pavard scored one of them. Nacho for Spain way back, but it didn't work out for Vrsaljko. There was Varane's touch, which took it away from Perisic and took it just close enough to Lloris, who was admirably composed. Modric, good start to the half for Croatia. Mandzukic, Rebic, sturdy tackle from Umtiti. Brozovic, Umtiti away again. Vida. Rakitic. Strinic. Brozovic. Modric. Brozovic. Tweedy can't escape. France are penned in here. Modric. Rebic. Once more. They can't carry it out. And here's Mandzukic. Pavard up to Giroud. That's a lovely touch from him. And now Pogba. And Pogba's played it early for Mbappe, who can really worry Vida here. This is Kylian Mbappe! And Subasic comes to thwart him. Give him half a yard and he's away. Modric. Rakitic. afraid the referee's having to stop the game here because of an intruder to whom we will attempt not to offer the oxygen of publicity. More than one intruder, actually. 3 or 4 of them, who it's safe to say have made idiots of themselves in front of the world. Kylian Mbappe was seeking to make a hero of himself in front of the world. He had Domagoj Vida worried. It's another really adept piece of goalkeeping from Daniel Subasic. First time he's really had the opportunity to turn on the afterburners and terrify a defender. Subasic stood up well. We're going to have the first substitution of the final. It's interesting, France are going to throw on Steven Nzonzi, for whom, at the moment, it is not quite clear. But that's a midfield enforcer they're going to throw into the piece. Pavard's clearance. Here's Rakitic. Lloris was not sure under pressure from Mandzukic. It's a corner. He was discomforted by the angle and flight of this cross. Mandzukic borderline offside. And indeed, after a consultation, the referee is giving a free kick for offside as France make the change. And it is a like-for-like, whether the normally excellent N'Golo Kanté has a problem, only he will know. But his place is going to go here to Steven Nzonzi, wearing 15 of Sevilla in Spain, a man who played no part in the qualifying campaign at all, who started just once at this competition, and that was in the almost meaningless game against Denmark, the only goalless game of the World Cup, which was in this stadium. And there's Nzonzi's first touch, and it's not a bad one. Griezmann. Tweedy, no way around Vasalko. Can only suppose that N'Golo Kanté did have a fitness issue, because to this point he was one of 2 in the French team who had played every minute of the competition. In that regard, only Rafa Varane remains. It's a good win by Strinic. Perisic, Rakitic, Modric, Vasalko, Modric, Rebic. Titi's challenge was clean, and Griezmann shows a clean pair of heels to all but Vida. Who at his best is a beast of a defender. Giroud's flick. Griezmann. Pogba. Shaken off it. Here's Modric. Gone early for Rebic. Seen okay by Umtiti. Pogba. Now space ahead of Pavard. And Mbappe ahead of Pavard. Giroud through the middle. Mbappe. Snatched away from him by Brozovic. Mandzukic. Rakitic. Far from behind by Giroud. Perisic. Beyond Rebic, and this time there is no competition for Hugo Lloris. It's only a couple of World Cups since the goalkeeper did last lift the trophy, Iker Casillas in South Africa. And he is just more than half an hour potentially from doing so, but of no team could it more readily be said than Croatia that it's not over till it's over. Rebic. Perisic. Pavard in retreat. Perisic. Too heavy for Mandzukic. One is bound to observe that this is a very, very similar dynamic to the semi-final, when England reached half-time, patting themselves on the back for the way they've done against the Croatians, as Mr. Infantino signs a ball which will no doubt sell for gazillions in weeks to come. But Croatia came out in the second half and taught England a little bit of a lesson, and they've certainly had the better of France up to now. Here though is Mbappe taking on Strinic. Mbappe, Griezmann, Pogba! Pogba! For France, and possibly now the world! An iconic French goal for Paul Pogba, who has come to the party and just might have won it. Once more, Mbappe had the key to the door. Once he was on the ball, Croatia were uneasy. Griezmann juggled, Pogba right foot, Pogba left foot, 3-1 France. And even for Croatia, it is a fair way back from here. A big player who needed a big tournament for a huge and passionate football nation, which is preparing to party. The day after Bastille Day, they probably haven't cleared up the Champs-Élysées from last night, and they may be half an hour away from going again. Pogba, for whom that image will last forever, unless Croatia come up with something extraordinary now. Pogba. Matuidi. Mbappe! And Giroud! And taken off Griezmann's toe by a retreating Brozovic. And France now have momentum and belief and freedom. And Griezmann was waiting for the spectacular. Well, never mind own goals and penalties. The World Cup final has been blessed by a special goal now, and France are hungry for more. And Griezmann takes. Brozovic away, Griezmann again, prepared to let it roll. Pavard. By Strinic, and then by Vida. Goes Perisic, and Nzonzi does what Nzonzi does. Vida. Rakitic. Rebic for Perisic. And in by Perisic. Leave it out by Pogba, who will do everything now to protect his picture in the headlines. Hernandez went to ground, no foul. Here's Modric. Strinic. Vida. Lovren. Hung up by Vasalko. Pavard clear again. Modric. Lovren. Mandzukic. What it means to this French team, 6 of whom began the European Championship final 2 years ago in their own country and went flat on the night. Rebic. Challenge from young Pavard, who's come onto the scene since then. Lifted forward towards Giroud, out by Vida, pounced upon by Matuidi. France have an extra man here, Griezmann. Denied the chance to put Mbappe away. Nzonzi, Pogba. Hernandez. Twisting away from Mandzukic. Running at Vasalko. Here's Mbappe! Oh my word! Teenage kicks! The ultimate teenage kick! The boy with the world at his feet! Kylian Mbappe! There ain't no stopping him now! The first teenage World Cup final goal since Pelé himself! Terrific work from Hernandez. Mbappe had only one thought, and you knew he would execute. Think of the life ahead of this kid. Only the third teenager ever to start a World Cup final, the second teenager to score at one. He keeps company with Pelé, and like the greatest of all time, he is surely now going to be a World Cup winner. And France, supposedly conservative France, sometimes dull within themselves, France, or so they say. France have scored 4 at the World Cup final. Which no one since Pelé's Brazil in 1970 have done. Well, I tell you what, if Croatia are to win the World Cup, we have some 25 minutes ahead of us. It would be unprecedented, safe to say. They've come from one behind more times than we can keep count of, but from 3 behind with 25 minutes left in a World Cup final, even they, surely, even they are struggling to believe. Since 1982 and the very famous Marco Tardelli strike, there hadn't been a World Cup final goal from outside the penalty area. There have now been 2 in a trice. And there goes Nzonzi, got a trip from Modric, for whom sadly, because my word, he's been special at this tournament, sadly it looks as though it's going to end in tears. One can hardly berate him for it, but as it happens, he hasn't had charge of this game in the way he's had charge of others. In by Pogba, down by Giroud. Oh, Lloris was caught on it by Mandzukic! And Croatia have a little sniff. You can only apologise. Hold your hands up in front of the world. Lloris with a moment of madness. Mandzukic perhaps a moment of redemption. He has scored at both ends in a World Cup final. Lloris offered it to him. And this crazy, crazy game twists once more. Indeed, as well as being the first man to score at both ends in a World Cup final, Mandzukic is only the second in any World Cup game after Ernie Brandt's in 1978. Wherever you're watching in the world, I guess, if you were able to see it at the time, your mind might be casting itself back to the recent Champions League final in Europe, where a goalkeeper of Liverpool was embarrassed in a manner not dissimilar to Hugo Lloris then. Played in by Vasilko. Whatever next? Whatever next. He might win the Golden Glove, he ain't going to win the Golden Boot, because in possession of the ball on the ground, Hugo Lloris had a horrible moment. And so France perhaps aren't quite there. 4-2. Rakitic. And in by Rebic. Swung behind. 4-2, I'm bound to say, if you'll forgive me a moment's self-indulgence, a scoreline that certainly resonates with the English. 1966 and all that. And here comes, in the final, which has produced the most goals since that, Croatia, unsurprisingly, are sending on another centre-forward. Andre Kramaric of Hoffenheim, whose only goal in the competition so far came at Russia's expense in Sochi in the quarter-final. Matuidi, Brozovic is down injured and the referee has chosen to stop the game. Actually bruised by his own man Lovren. Brozovic is asked to give it back. Long from Lloris. Griezmann. Clash of heads from Titi and Mandzukic. I think the referee has to stop it, which doesn't work kindly for France. Titi looks to be okay. Mandzukic less keen to get up, and actually that picture illustrates why. I think it is fairly clear that Mandzukic would come off second best. A really remarkable football match with which to reach the climax of this invariably exciting World Cup. And France have another change to make. It involves the withdrawal of Blaise Matuidi and his replacement by Corentin Tolisso of Bayern Munich. Who began the opening game and began also the quarter-final against Uruguay, and will get the last quarter of an hour plus of the World Cup final. A young boy from Lyon who is on the cusp of fulfilling any young boy's dream. For now, Pogba first there. Mbappe. Pogba and Mbappe. Right now, the two players via whom France are likely to be world champions. Here's Tolisso. Giroud. Dispossessed by Brozovic. Caught on it by Pogba. Free kick. As many goals in the 2018 World Cup final as in the last 4 World Cup finals combined. And Croatia need more. Vrsaljko. Perisic. Away by Varane. Mandzukic, who seems to be okay after that clash of heads with Umtiti. Modric. Kramaric. Strinic. Again, Umtiti at full stretch. Griezmann, Giroud, ran into Croatian traffic. Strinic. Vrsaljko. Gonna bounce lamely behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, the total attendance today is 78,011.
Hugo Lloris, a ground eat me up and swallow me moment. The goalkeeper's worst nightmare, I guess, an eventuality which is more likely to come to pass in these days of playing goalkeepers who are encouraged to dribble and to pass. Once in a while it's going to go wrong. Griezmann. By Vida. Modric, clear of Tolisso, end up for Kramaric. Rakitic, harried by Pogba. And again by Hernandez, Lovren, Modric. Modric. Rakitic. Strinic. Rakitic. Vasselko. Modric. Twisting away from Giroud. Out by Varane. Rakitic has scraped it wide. You know, they're not done yet. They are not quite done yet, Croatia. Score again now, and there will be some faint French hearts. Suggestion that they should have had a corner out of that. Brozovic for Strinic. Pavard kept his eye on the ball. Away by Varane. Back by Giroud. Let's have another change to make. We've seen Nabil Fekir. Dozen minutes or so to play. Modric. Brozovic, away again by Varane. Chance for Mbappe to go, and go he does. And Vida is in retreat, and Lovren is in retreat. Mbappe will drive at them, and then slither. And Croatia can go the other way. Croatia are also going to make a change and throw on another centre-forward. Piazza. More thunder, more lightning. Tense, tight, sweaty afternoon. Kramaric. Strinic. Rakitic. Challenge on him by Pogba. It's coming back via Modric. Modric, Van Perisic, Vasselko, Modric, and by Lovren, out by Umtiti. 10 minutes to play. One own goal, one penalty goal, one gift of a goal, and 3 really rather good goals. It's a World Cup final which is making its mark on the memory. It's going to be a goalless World Cup for Olivier Giroud. Valued perhaps more by his coach and his colleagues than by all of France's support. But whoever you are, it is undeniable that he has given every last half ounce of sweat for the cause. And he gives way to Nabil Fekir.
Substitution for Croatia, number 3,
As a change is made by Croatia too, involving the withdrawal of their left back, Ivan Strinic, and the introduction of Marco Piazza in what can only be interpreted as a hell for leather change. In by Vasselko, now part of a back 3, with Perisic playing at left wing back and Piazza operating from the right. Rakitic. Kramaric. Piazza! His first touch wasn't tight enough. Strinic circumnavigating the pitch somewhat disconsolately. Piazza with 10 minutes to try and make a difference. And it got away. Out by Vasilko, forward again by Pogba for France. Clear by Vida. Rakitic. Foul by Pogba. And they are more hurriedly on with it than the referee is prepared to permit. That's an irritation for Perisic, who was in behind. Rakitic infuriated. And you understand why every second counts for the Croats. In by Rakitic, and pouched confidently by Lloris. He puts it out so that Paul Pogba can receive some treatment. A move clearly interpreted as cynical by the Croatian supporters behind the goal. He and Mandzukic had hold each of the other. Not a lot in that. Certainly no foul by Pogba. Certainly not a foul on Pogba. Everybody's okay. Part of the exercise from a French perspective was to eat up some seconds. Vasilko. Lovren. Brozovic. Perisic. Rakitic. Varane got up big enough. Mbappe flicked it on. Lovren won it back. Rakitic. Vida. Still time for Croatia. Piazza. Oh, it's a lovely thought. Disappointingly for him, Vasilko was not on the same page. And for all the wonderful work he has done, maybe that their medals are silver, not gold. Zlatko Dalic has only lost 2 previous games as the coach of Croatia. This is only his 14th. Didier Deschamps, an 83rd game in charge, national record. And he may have good reason to remember this one. Fekir. Scythed down by a rather desperate Rakitic. Pogba is starting to think about the corner flag instead of the goal. Mind, here's Fekir. And he did require of Subasic a plunging stop. Has come off the bench in all 7 games, Nabil Fekir. And it's not the first time he's caught the eye. Vrsaljko. Rakitic. In by Perisic. And there's Lloris again. Nobody will be gladder to hear the final whistle than France's goalkeeper after the misfortune that befell him, and seemed momentarily to have offered a Croatian route back into it. But time is very much on France's side now. Modric. Vrsaljko. Lovren. If it's going to happen, it's got to happen right now. Vida, Kramaric. Vida. Kramaric. Rakitic. Why not? Well, there perhaps is why not. Because from that range, it doesn't often come out. Always fading away. Croatia's hopes are fading away. One piece of bonus news which is about to hit them, though, is that the referee is planning 5 minutes of additional time. Fekir and Zonzi. Fekir. Got away from Perisic, but not from Brozovic. Rakitic, driven out towards Piazza. Seen okay by Hernandez. Lovren. Brozovic. Gave it to Pogba, who was fouled. Brozovic clouts it away in frustration. The most animated of races, Croatians. My goodness me, you know when they're about. There are thrilling addition, zealous addition to any international football occasion. So if they go quiet, you know there's a problem. Trying to keep it going. But for the little nation, this might just be too big. Zonzi. Griezmann. Vrsaljko's challenge has Tolisso ailing. Somewhat melodramatically. Mandzukic didn't retreat for the free kick. The referee's given a throw anyway. And for them, the party has started. It hasn't for him. He knows too much. Zagallo, Beckenbauer, Deschamps. It's not bad company to keep. The three to have won it on the pitch and in the dugout. If France can see out 4 more stoppage time minutes, and that helps. Mbappe, Pogba up alongside. Paul Pogba couldn't find a route round his man. France, in truth, had committed very few to it, understandably enough. Griezmann. Running away from Brozovic and having to hurdle Vrsaljko, who won't be at all surprised to see the referee arrive with yellow card in hand. Griezmann is in no hurry to get up. Challenge which, if anything, does France a favour. In charge of the ball. His only instruction, simply to enable France to keep the ball if he can. Although here is Pogba! And he missed his kick. An almost surreal moment right at the end of the World Cup final, when France, playing for time, found their big central midfield player all alone in the penalty area, and he hit fresh air. And so Rakitic can go the other way, and Zonzi tidies up. Not the first surreal moment, there have been a few today. With VAR and an own goal, and the most improbable goalkeeping error. It's been a World Cup final for everyone, with everything. And there are 2 minutes of it left. And those tears are beginning to seep. A suggestion of handball by Vida after Pogba missed his kick, but nobody seems too concerned. They know it's done. Perisic knows it's done. Pogba's job was to keep him from the ball and keep him from the trophy. Last minute, what a campaign for him. What a campaign for Croatia. They have indeed at times decorated this World Cup. So stubborn, such a deep-rooted refusal to lose. 2 or 3 of the very best players in the competition, but they're not going to win the competition. And France is ready to rise as one. Perisic. Comfortable gullet for Hugo Lloris, a catch that may win the match. Ready, ready boys, here comes your moment. It is France. Allez les Bleus! All rise to another class of gilded Gallic greats. The dignitaries meet. The Deschamps double is complete. In 1998, he lifted it. 20 years on, he will see it lifted for him. It will be some can-can on the Champs-Élysées tonight. From Boulogne to Biarritz, Calais to Cannes, Cherbourg to Chamonix, the trophy is returning to the land of Jules Rimet. Finally, Croatia's seemingly immovable object met a force which was just too much. Their intense and tidy team, which so proudly stood for its small and zestful nation, has come up one step shy of glory. It is a World Cup final the world will never forget. For an own goal, a penalty goal, a comedy goal, and 3 memorable goals, one from a teenager with the world at his feet. The final score at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow: France 4, Croatia 2, and the presentation follows.
Didier, vous l'avez fait, vous êtes champion du monde, qu'est-ce que vous ressentez là?
C'est tellement beau, c'est tellement merveilleux. voilà, pour les joueurs, c'est une jeune génération. Il y en a, ils sont champions du monde à 19 ans. Donc, même s'il y en a eu d'autres il y a très longtemps, voilà, il faut prendre. On n'a pas fait aujourd'hui un énorme match, mais on a montré beaucoup de qualité mentale. Mais on a mis 4 buts quand même. Donc voilà, c'est mérité. Et je suis super heureux pour ce groupe-là parce qu'on est parti de loin quand même. Ça n'a pas été toujours simple, mais voilà, à force de travail aussi, et eux à l'écoute. On est passé par des moments un peu difficiles, mais on a besoin de ça. Et là, ils sont sur le toit du monde pour 4 ans, quoi.
Et vous, personnellement, vous entrez dans l'histoire, hein, Didier, vainqueur en tant que joueur, en tant que sélectionneur. Il y avait Zagallo, il y avait Beckenbauer, maintenant il y a Didier Deschamps.
Ouais, c'est des plus grands techniciens que moi, sur le terrain au moins.
Ça, on s'en moque.
Ouais. Oui, après je pense pas à moi, mais évidemment, il y a la fierté, je suis là pour atteindre des objectifs, gagner des titres. Ça m'a tellement fait mal de perdre ce titre de champion d'Europe d'il y a 2 ans. Et je pense que ça nous a servi aussi, aux joueurs et à moi aussi. Le fait de modifier un peu, de désacraliser cet instant de finale, je pense que ça a été important aussi. Après, le match, il appartient aux joueurs. Et c'est eux qui ont gagné les matchs et qui sont champions du monde. Et nous, on est liés. Moi, entraîneur, tout mon staff, on était 20 personnes dans le staff. Voilà, depuis 55 jours aujourd'hui. Donc, il y a beaucoup de travail. Et là, c'est le sacre suprême, donc c'est merveilleux.
Juste un mot pour les Français qui vous écoutent.
Mais on les aime. On est fiers d'être Français. Et puis, on se retrouve demain. Peut-être pas tous, mais voilà, fiers d'être bleus. Et comme le dit notre président de la République, vive la République.
Papa et le fiston vous glissent Didier Deschamps à l'oreille. Antoine, qu'est-ce que vous ressentez là?
Bah, je sais pas, c'est vraiment, je sais pas où je suis, voilà, très heureux. Ça a été un match très difficile, la Croatie a fait un gros match. Nous, on est rentré timidement, voilà, on a vu que c'était une finale de Coupe du Monde et après on s'est lâché petit à petit. Et voilà, sur des contres, on a réussi à faire la différence.
Vous faites pas une analyse, on s'en fiche là. Dites-moi ce que votre cœur vous dit là.
Non, très heureux, franchement c'est un kiff. Et voilà, on a hâte de soulever la coupe et de l'amener en France.
Marqué en finale de Coupe du Monde, ça fait quoi?
Très heureux. J'hésite à faire la panenka Zidane, mais voilà, j'ai préféré ouvrir mon pied.
Vous allez dormir avec? C'est vous qui allez la voir cette nuit?
J'espère avec la coupe et ma fille, donc on va voir que ça va être qui.
Bravo Antoine.
Merci.
And so the moment. It'll disappear through Croatian hands. They get a touch, but they do not get a hold. For the first time ever on foreign soil, for the second time in history, in the driving Moscow rain, France are the champions of the world. Allez les Bleus! Congratulations. Never to be forgotten.
Izborniče i nebo je na kraju proplakalo, ali čestitke na srebru zlatnog sjaja.
Pa prvo čestitke Francuzima na tituli prvaka. Mi smo tužni i ponosni. Mislim da su igrali dobru utakmicu, pogotovo nas je presjekao penal koji su odsvirao i onda je bilo sve teže. Ali moram biti zadovoljni i ponosni s ovim svim.
Ostvaren je ipak najveći uspjeh u povijesti hrvatskog nogometa.
Pa je, ali ostaje mali žal za titulom, a to je život, to je nogomet.
Jeste li očekivali ovakve Francuze, jesi li vas iznenadili s nečim?
Nisu, oni se brane, idu na kontru. Dobili smo 2 gola, slučajna prvi i drugi gol, autogol, drugi penal. To je nogomet tako.
Hvala i sretno.
Hvala.
Šime, možemo čuti vaše dojmove nakon osvojenog srebra?
Pa
Prije mogu pričati o utakmici. Mislim da utakmica 90 minuta koje smo igrali, ostavili smo srce na terenu, ne možemo se ništa zamjeriti. Nadam se da svi oni koji vole Hrvatsku da su osjetili da smo dali sve što smo imali. Nažalost, izgubili smo, to je nogomet. Sretni smo, mislim da smo napravili nešto što će se pamtiti dok je hrvatskog nogometa i mislim da možemo biti ponosni na sve što smo napravili na ovom turniru. Počevši od ponašanja, na kraju krajeva do igre i svega i na kraju krajeva i naši navijači koji su predstavili našu domovinu u najboljem svjetlu i bez ikakvih izgreda i mislim da je ovo jedna velika stvar za Hrvatsku. Hvala i sretno. Hvala vam.